recording, and we will be going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. We're going to jump right into our subject today, which is, well, I guess we're kind of continuing a couple of subjects today. So we're going to talk about the whole Haitians eating cats thing, and we're going to talk about the primary topic would be the Tenet media scandal, which is going on, which really isn't that big of a scandal or that big of a deal if you think about it. You know, of course, the left is making it out to be like this huge deal and calling everybody involved. You know, obviously they've lost all their integrity and lost all their credibility, but that's really not the case, and we'll kind of explain why a little bit later. So let's dive right in, Chad.
All right. So, you want to start with the Tenet thing? You want to start with
We can start with the Haitian dog stuff, I suppose.
All
All
right.
right. I mean, I guess, well, actually, what do you prefer? What do you think?
I think the Haitian dog thing, as we already talked about that.
All right.
And the debate's fresh in our heads because this is kind of like old news, but we just
It's
want to give
old
our
news,
take on
yeah,
it.
and like I said, it's not, I mean, unless you, like, follow conservative media. But, I mean, I guess it's a good thing for us to dispel any, what do you call it, you know, slanderous or, you know, miscommunication going on about it, so.
100%. Get rid of that like, share, and subscribe logo real quick. And we are ready to play this bad boy. You ready?
Ready?
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there had been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
But
television.
the people on
Chuck's
television
right.
saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
Look
President
how hard
Harris, I'll
they're
let you
fighting
respond to
that.
the rest of what you've heard.
Yeah.
You talk about extreme.
There you go. So, why don't you pull up the video of that guy? So, if you remember that video of this guy that we pulled up last week where he went to where the Venezuelan gangs were taking over and interviewed people? He did the same thing. He went to Springfield and interviewed people. And basically, all the Haitians are saying it's not true, but all the locals are saying it's 100% true. So, we'll check out a couple, maybe a minute or two of this video, and then we'll catch you on the tail end of it.
And transition. And
Hit it up.
Playing.
Don't wave at me, you sorry f***ing sand.
There was Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods, collecting cats, skinning them and eating them.
In my opinion, they're worthless. Bunch of worthless f***ing sands.
They're getting thousands of dollars in government assistance, even the cash assistance cards. They're calling them the magic money cards because they never run out.
Managers are nothing but a headache. All they're doing is raising our rent and our taxes and wrecking vehicles.
Everybody wants to make this into a race issue. It's not a race issue. It's culture, it's accountability, and it's respect.
Since June, they took me off of, I'm a vet. They took me off of the disability.
You're a veteran and you're competing with some of the resources they're getting who just came in here?
Yeah.
I need some solutions. I'm losing my mind.
This is Springfield, Ohio. Yeah. It was once a small town in
that's
Ohio,
we won't show
roughly
any more of this
60,000
video
working-class
to
Americans,
you know, not disrespect this guy or, you know, take too much of his video platform, hard work away, but those were all short little clips of interviews. He did obviously interviewed full interviews of people walking through the streets. He even interviewed that YouTube influencer at the end who's running for mayor. Like he interviewed him as well, and they saying, "Oh yeah, it's real. All of it's real." And of course, you know, the city manager, the city's running. You know, they're backpedaling. They're running cover for this so they can justify their jobs. And be like, oh no, that's not happening.
You have to realize is like people have a vested interest if they're in charge during something like this. They have a vested interest in keeping stuff like this hidden from the public. Happening. We swear this isn't happening.
I mean, it's like that case up in Virginia where that guy's daughter got essayed or, you know, R-worded, you know, sexually, and then wait, pause, assaulted in a bathroom and was R-worded by a trans. So it's a guy who transitioned to a girl,
trans
but
female.
so a trans female, so a boy who thinks he's a girl. He got her in the bathroom and got after her, and the school was like, no, that never happened. And then the guy who prosecuted the school is like going, you guys lied to me, said it didn't happen. My daughter told me it happened, and you guys are still covering it up.
Well, and then they moved that kid to another school, and he did it again.
Yeah.
It's
So
the same thing. Teachers unions do the same thing with teachers. If a teacher is accused of, inappropriate content with a conduct with a student, they don't fire them. The teacher union quietly removes them from that school and then moves them to
and
another
again,
school.
the people who are in charge are like, oh no, this didn't happen on my watch. So they can just pass the buck to the next person. They don't want to imagine things like this could happen while they're in power. So that's what's going on. So you have this city manager going, no, that's not happening. It's not happening. It's like you're just, and of course they're going to be like, you have all these dumb locals who are just complaining or making stuff up to give it the worst case scenario. And then you have the liberal media who goes, well, the city manager said that, so it's not actually happening. And you have these guys who go and actually interview people on the street, and they go, yeah, these people suck. They're killing cats. I've seen the vans with the cats in them. Who are you going to trust? The people who are there, or the people who have a vested interest to make themselves look better?
Yeah. Well, and here's the other part too, is here's a bunch of these people being interviewed right now, and they're saying that this is happening. And like I said, the Haitians are saying the cat thing is extreme, but everything else is like being proven here that's happening. Like they're taking up space at the government assistant areas, and they're not planning on leaving. Like everyone keeps saying that they're temporary migrants. These migrants, everyone he's interviewed says, "Oh, I'm staying here. I moved here for a new good life."
Yeah.
So none of them, every single one of them is like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
This is their new home.
So all the Haitians are not planning on going home. None of them are. So it's crazy. But again, trust the Democrats, trust the media. What are we talking about here? Are you going to like this guy lives there? This guy complaining and talking this guy is the most animated one there. Like he does not like him being there. He's mad about a lot of stuff going on. So maybe he's very, very biased. But you can't just dismiss his claims. So it's the sad state of affairs that, it's like we don't trust the people who are there. We trust the people who have a vested interest in making sure that their town doesn't sound bad because they're in charge.
And who are the people that are normally elected? It's not the people that live in the downtrodden, areas like this.
Yeah, it's the people who have the funds to run for an election. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the people that live in the nice part of town. These people are the ones who have to live there and suffer through it. And the politician's like, nope, that's not happening. You're like, bull crap, it's not happening. I live here. I see it. It happens.
So yeah, what's this guy's video name? And you guys can check out the full.
Yeah, let me. I gotta minimize the screen to see all that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. It is Tyler Overia, and on YouTube. And this is like literally as soon as something. I like this guy because as soon as something breaks,
he just drives there.
He just drives there and goes and interviews people, like just people on the street, not politicians. He does interview the guy running for mayor though, but he doesn't go interview like the people, like.
Yeah, and then,
he doesn't interview officials.
And what's funny is, so they're talking about, a big problem in this community is that all these Haitians are getting driver's license in cars, and they're talking about how they're bad drivers. Like I said, they talked about a kid yesterday who got ran over, and now the parents are coming out saying stop using our kid as a political pawn, even though they're selling T-shirts with their kid's name on it. Like it's truly. It was the most dangerous thing. He goes, I wish the guy who had the guy whose kid died said, I wish it was a white man that hit my kid instead of a Haitian. That way nobody could weaponize this against immigration. It was amazing. And then the mom was smirking the whole time and then pulled out a T-shirt that they were selling. Like I was like, this can't be real.
Mm-hmm. It's
so
very strange.
Yeah. So like these Haitians are driving, they're getting licenses, and then so this guy.
Okay. Well, here's the other thing. Half the ones he interviews right here don't speak English.
Yeah,
but they have driver's license. How are they getting driver's license if they can't speak English? The driver's license test is in English.
Yeah.
And he asked that question, and the people at the DMV say, I'm not allowed to answer your questions, and then just tell them to leave. So something is going on. There's some sketchy stuff going on. It's like the thing we talked about with the Roseanne Barr situation, where like the illegal Hispanics who are coming in are immediately getting driver's license. How are you getting a driver's license if you're not passing the driver's license test if it's in English?
Yeah.
What's going on? I don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, no. So yeah, just trust what's going on. Trust what the Democrats are saying. It's not a big deal. Come on. Something's happening here, and this guy going in and asking questions, and the people at the DMV are like, you can't ask questions. That's scary, folks.
No.
I mean, again, that guy, I'm telling you that those parents are being paid by the Democratic Party. That the parents that lost their kid, like, why else would you say that? It's like, our kid got run over by a Haitian illegal immigrant, and we just wish it was a white guy that killed him. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's some extreme stuff. But yeah, I'll kind of just like get to some of the highlights. As you can see, he's using his Translate app on his phone to talk to
these
them.
people.
So none of them speak English, but they have driver's license. A lot of them. There's a few of them there that are only like a month or two in to living here, and they've already got driver's license. And it's crazy. This is insane. I don't know how they're doing this. I mean, teenagers take forever to get their driver's license. And these people are getting it within the first couple of months of moving in here.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Try to get to where he meets up with the
YouTube guy?
Yeah, the YouTube guy.
That'll
There
be
he
good.
is.
Oh, my God.
There's the accidents. All the accidents that are going on from the Haitian immigrants, like, driving. They don't know how to drive, but they're still getting driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll turn this up for a
Yeah,
second.
turn it up. Yeah, we can.
In the park, grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like.
And who's been going live on Facebook documenting the constant car crashes from the new Haitian drivers. We headed to the BMV to see how the Haitians are getting driver's licenses in cars so quickly
Here's that part we're
after
talking
moving here despite speaking zero English.
Question for y'all. What are your thoughts on the Haitians? They can't drive? This guy right here, by a Haitian dude. Yo, bonjour.
You got a cat right beside him. Stop! Do not. Stop, bro. Stop, dude.
You said that.
These guys are
not
funny.
me. You take that back. I did.
I'll tell you that, man. Bro, come on, bro. We be playing, bro. There's nothing wrong with some jokes.
Let's go see what's up. How y'all doing? Question for you. Do you know how the Haitians are getting driver's license? Can they transfer their license from Haiti, or
No, they cannot transfer.
do they have to undergo the same test?
I'm not allowed to answer the personal questions outside.
Not allowed to answer that
Oh, okay.
question.
You know what they have to do?
I do not.
Okay.
I really don't know. No, but I know they're getting them quick.
They're getting them quick, right? We can ask.
Sir, you are not allowed to take pictures in here, sir. Sir.
In the go outside. Sorry. Are they able to transfer their licenses from Haiti to here?
No, not without taking the test. But
Like, why was that so? I mean, that was aggressive. Like, the minute he walked in, you're not allowed to film in here, sir. Like, these are government employees. Why should they give a dang about anything? Like,
All right, that's all I got.
boy,
for you.
I mean, government employees don't care about
Are they driving
anything
pretty good out here or what?
because they get off work at 5. I mean, it's the one type of job you can't get fired at.
Don't know how to
But
drive in general.
they care the minute somebody comes in with a
I
camera.
see 'em
I mean, that's how you know something shady's going on.
drive, but I don't know. Think they have to drive at all.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even think they should have a license. No lights when they be driving around, no nothing.
Do you think it poses a threat to public safety?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Managers are nothing but a headache. All they're doing is raising our rent and our taxes and wrecking vehicles, and there's just been nothing but a hassle since they've been here. It's been horrible.
How would you rank their
Okay,
driving
yeah, we
from
better.
1 to 10?
Yeah.
A
This
negative
guy's
10
stuff is
or
great.
horrible.
Like, everybody needs to check this guy out. Like, this
Yeah.
is all 100%
All
true.
reporting, all just him talking to these people. Like, I mean, he doesn't even really give opinion.
Now, if there's anything that seems to be blown out of proportion, it's maybe the cat thing. But it sounds like that there is some truth to
There
it.
is some truth to it. There's got. I mean, that the guy, the YouTube guy, was like, "Yeah, they going down. I've seen the videos of them going down there and grabbing the ducks."
Yeah.
I mean, like, why would he lie about that?
Yeah.
What purpose would that bring?
Yeah.
So it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah. And as we can see here, is like, so there is truth to what they said, and CNN straight up, or not CNN, ABC and the Democrats just ignored it. They said that Trump's claim was false.
Yeah. Tell all these people that their eyes are lying. Tell them that. Just because you can't see it and CNN doesn't see it and they're not looking hard to find the evidence for it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the government assistance part right here. This guy's a veteran trying to get his Medicaid card, and he can't do it because of all the Haitian migrants that are showing up. And to see the long lines, they only see there's lines of them for days.
Sad.
They say.
So
Mhm.
sad. Guy that served the country can't even get his benefits. Wow. But yeah, we'll give the magic money cards to the Haitians and all the illegals.
Mm-hmm.
Sad state of affairs, man. But I mean, this is it. This is the state of our country right now. The state of the Democratic Party. The state of what they have done. Like I said, if you're voting for this, you are a big part of the problem. Either way, let's jump into the Tenet stuff and we'll wrap up for the day because we've really hung on this way longer than I thought we would.
100%.
Okay. So the Tenet media scandal. So if you guys don't know, so there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, and a lot of people inserting opinions into things that just don't make a whole lot of sense. So all these characters, all these people that are involved in this Tenet media scandal, I've been following for years, okay? So here's the gist of what's going on. Lauren Chen, who is she's been a YouTuber for a very long time. I've been following her probably since like 2014-ish. And she is a Chinese Canadian, so she's a Eurasian. She's European and Asian mix. So she's half white, half Asian, and her dad's from Beijing, and her mom is from Canada, so she is Eurasian. And she has been producing YouTube content for a very long time. She used to work for the Republican Party, used to work for Paul Ryan.
Ron Paul.
No, Paul Ryan.
Oh, he's Paul Ryan? Okay.
Yeah, she was Paul Ryan's aide.
Okay, I did
not
know that.
In college, yeah. So she's been doing YouTube for a long time, and then she was approached by two, I guess,
Russians.
She didn't know they were Russians, but she was approached by two people who are entrepreneurs, or what do you call them, startup guys, and they wanted to invest and create a media company.
Yeah. And now the guys here is that they used to work for RT, which is Russian TV or Russian television or whatever.
Yes. So what ended up happening was she was like, we have investors that want to invest in a company, and the media company goes, you'll be in charge of the content creation and managing all these the content that's posted on the platform, and we'll just fund you. So Lauren has had connections with people on YouTube for a long time. So she knows Tim Pool, she knows Actual Justice Warrior, she knows Lauren Southern, she knows Dave Rubin, she knows Matt Christensen, she knows all these people who are in this picture here, right? Benny Johnson. So she used her relationship with them. She goes, hey, I'm trying to get a media company started up, and I'm going to be the operations person. I want you guys to create content for me. What would it cost, or what would you have to be paid in order for this to be profitable for you? So if you understand how YouTube works, people who make YouTube videos, they make money off of ad revenue, and they make money off of sponsorship. So people who sponsor them will be like, so like they'll do an ad read for like Raid Shadow Legends, which is like a video game. It's a phone game, and they'll do this read, and that will account for half of the money they make, and then the other half of their money will come from just YouTube views and clicks that YouTube can generate off of their videos. So it's not a super profitable business model, but like I said, if you have a lot of views, it can be very profitable. Mm-hmm. So in order to make it worth people like Tim Pool's, Matt Christensen's, Benny Johnson's time, she was like, what do I need to pay you in order to make this worth your time, to give me exclusive rights to your content mm-hmm. that I can just post on Tenet instead of you posting on your site? And Tim Pool was like, I need $100,000 per video, because if I'm not going to be able to monetize it through my own, and you're going to take all the revenue from it, I need $100K per video. So that's what she agreed to with the vast majority of these content creators. So, of course, all these left-wing places like the Young Turks and all these, left-wing partisan hacks, in my opinion, are going, oh, yeah, that's all about the money. It's like they're thinking that they're double dipping. They're thinking that they're getting ad revenue on top of getting paid $100,000 per video.
Right, no. They straight up surrendered their ad revenue from their videos to give to Tenet. So Tenet is subsidizing the cost of them being like, okay,
yeah, and it's a risk on Tenet's part. They're going, so they're producing a video. They go, we would average $100,000 per video. Now they could produce a video that doesn't get that kind of ad revenue. They could produce one that only gets $50,000 worth of views. But that's Tenet taking that risk. And they're risking the fact that they're getting people like Tim Pool, Matt Christensen, who already have built-in audiences that are going to bring these eyeballs to Tenet Media. Mm-hmm. So again, Tenet really didn't have any real say over the kind of content they were creating. Like Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, who else? Lauren Southern and
Chris Hansen.
And Chris
something Hansen.
Yeah. All these guys, they didn't change their content. They've just been creating the exact same content they've been creating for years. Tim Pool has been starkly anti-Ukraine way before Tenet Media came around, and now everyone's claiming that they're pro-Russian propagandists. Like they are not.
Their stances have changed because of the
Russians.
or these stances that they've always, which is weird. These stances that they've always had are because of the Russians. Like I said, but that doesn't make any sense considering they didn't start getting paid by Tenet until maybe
a couple
year,
months, maybe less than that.
Yeah, less than a year ago.
So all these people are like, they've changed their stances. They've been bought and paid for. Wrong. None of them even knew Russians were paying them. Like Tim Pool definitely didn't know. The only person who might have known is Lauren Chin, and Lauren Chin is not indicted. Lauren Chin is on the list of people who are taking advantage of by this startup company.
Yeah.
Now, she was the operations person, and she knew that somebody from Russia was backing them, but she didn't know the level of which the founders were connected to the Russian government. She was just like, some entrepreneurs want to invest in a media company. I'm all about it.
We have a video queued up of what the left wing thinks about this. But just getting to that, before we get to it, so basically they were getting paid by Russians to make content that they already believed in. So basically it was them literally tricking Russians to give them money for stuff that they're already doing.
Yeah. But of course, all these pro-left wing and, these partisan hacks, in my opinion, are going and saying they couldn't have possibly had these opinions before. So go ahead and cue this video up and we'll watch it so you can understand what the left thinks about this, or the crap that the left believes.
This is from Now This is where this is from.
Now This is a propaganda website for the left. It always has been. They don't even produce reasonable content. They literally just have comedians and people go in there and do the most biased opinion takes I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, they don't even attempt to be objective. Look, and you don't have to, but don't. The problem is they feign objectivity, and then they use comedy as a cudgel. So the same as what Jon Stewart and all these left-wing comedy hosts, they use it as a cudgel to ridicule the other side.
They make a good political point, and then when someone snaps back at them and makes a good point or an even better point, they go, I'm a comedian.
Yes, yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. Remember, no one's going to take you seriously if you're being ridiculed. So if you ridicule your opponent enough and make them seem stupid, no one will take them seriously ever. That is the best way to, if you walk into the room and everyone's laughing at you as you walk in before you've even had anything to say, it's over. That's the whole point of why Jon Stewart and all these people ruined political discourse, because if you can make the other side look ridiculous or just be universally despised before they even say anything, it's over.
Yeah. And truthfully, what this feels like to me is this is just a way for I think this is the FBI or DOJ or CIA going after these Russians. Now, granted, they are Russians, but it's not illegal to be Russian and, make content or, be a content creator. But here's the issue is they're trying to discredit independent news.
They're trying to make the mainstream media's appeal seem better.
Yeah.
And like I said, and that's the other side too. This stuff, these guys that are funded from, they have a bunch of big-time benefactors, too. They're all left-wing big donors, like Soros money and things like that. But guess what? It doesn't matter. They're hurting themselves when they do this because they go, well, now this is a independent news. The Young Turks are a pseudo-independent news. We can't take them seriously. So they're actually hurting themselves by jumping on board and attacking Tenet Media like this. But they don't know that. They just hate the other side so much that they have to get their zingers in.
Yeah.
So go ahead and check out what the left, or how the left views this.
DEI programs are actually a violation of American civil rights law.
Now, we've all heard Trump's talking points about election fraud, immigrants stealing our jobs, skyrocketing inflation, etc. But have you ever wondered where they actually come from? Well, here's part of the answer for you. This is a document circulated internally at Tenet Media, home to prominent conservative voices like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and former BuzzFeed plagiarizer Benny Johnson. The document is one of several exhibits in a DOJ indictment against two Russian operatives who Poole, Rubin, and Johnson say deceived them into peddling Russian talking points aimed at dividing Americans in the run-up
That's
to
disingenuous, too,
2024.
deceive them. They
And
never
while we
had any
must tell you
contact
that
with these
Poole,
Russians.
Rubin, and others at Tenet vehemently deny any knowledge of the campaign and are not charged in any indictments, these Russian talking points don't just show up at Tenet. Once you hear
And Tenet
them,
Media is
you
not
see
a big
they are
company
all
either.
over
So this is
MAGA
something that
right-wing
probably
media.
only Lauren
Just
Chin
take
and
a
her
look for
husband
yourself.
received.
But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine
Taking
is
a Tim
our
Pool
enemy,
video out
being
of
funded
context.
by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the
I'm almost
greatest
100%
enemies
sure
of
that
our nation
this,
right now
like,
is
comes
Ukraine.
Out of the fact, like we were talking about, like the Hawaiian
has
people
never been a
getting,
boom
like,
for
less
Americans.
money
Than
been
the
a boom
Ukrainian
for
people.
foreigners.
Yeah.
Like,
The only reason we're
Yeah.
not in a
Pause it real
recession
quick, yeah.
is
So-
because foreign.
So again, this video is implying that they couldn't have come to these conclusions on their own. Again, Tim Pool, the full context of that video is Tim Pool is talking about the Hawaiian people got like $1,400. The average Ukrainian's getting like $4,000. They don't even have a functioning economy over there anymore. Like, what are they going to use $4,000 for? But the people in Hawaii, screw them. They don't need money. So that's what Tim Pool is talking about. The Ukraine is the enemy of the American people because they're getting more money than the Hawaiians were.
Mm-hmm.
So that clip is taken completely out of context, and that guy's going, Tim Pool couldn't have come to that conclusion unless some Russian agent told them to come to that conclusion. And again, they're talking about DEI. Like, we all can't look at DEI for what it is. It's like, yeah, DEI is bad. It's not good. It's basically, it is, what would you say? What's the
soft communism?
It's soft communism. Not even that. What's the word? It's what do you call it? It's affirmative action on steroids.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's what it is. And, it's like you can't come to a conclusion like, yeah, that's not good. Like, we should be merit based, not
just like the joke is like with that, like the UN is just affirmative action for evil countries.
But again, that's the whole point. They want to ridicule you. They want to go, you couldn't have come to these conclusions on your own. Somebody's got to be paying you to come to these conclusions. Like, no, there was a contract written up. They got $100,000 per video because they stopped making ad revenue off of those videos they produced. They said, if you want to make it worth my time, if you want licensing to my content, you have to give me $100K because that's typically what I make off of a video.
Yep. And like, again, Tenet Media has only been around a year. These views that they've had have been along well before Tenet Media came
Yes.
around. I can promise you most of those videos of him like complaining about Ukraine happened before he joined Tenet Media.
Absolutely. So that's what's so disgusting about how this little video from Now This is like, you couldn't possibly have come to, like, Jesse Waters. Like, I mean, for God's sakes, like, Jesse Waters has been doing this kind of crap for years. Jesse Waters has been at Fox for, God, I don't know how many years, probably 15, 20 years now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, they're saying Jesse Waters is a paid Russian agent now. It's like, maybe he already agreed with a lot of the principles that were in that little memo, but Jesse Waters didn't read that memo. Tim Pool didn't read that memo.
Jesse Waters is not a part of Tenet Media.
Yeah, well, again,
but they're trying to make. But I mean, that's how corrupt this little person doing this little news segment is. Is like they're making the leap that their Tenet Media was paying independent, YouTubers to make content. So therefore, Fox News is corrupt. That's quite the leap. That's quite the logical leap there.
So again, this is why you cannot trust a lot of these. Again, if they're making an argument for why you can't trust, Now This is making a better argument for why you can't trust independent media news outlets more than this Tenet Media scandal is right now. It's like, why can't we trust Now This? Because they're partisan hacks that are willfully misrepresenting what's happening in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, I guess the argument could be that the guy who's doing this read is a complete idiot, but I guarantee you the guy that's reading this did not put this together. It's just one of their talents that they pay monthly to come in and just sit in front of a camera and go, read this, and do it in a angry voice. That's all this is, man. Like, I mean, like, the left is the best at at doing false outrage. So, yeah, that is the extent of the Tenet Media scandal. Again, Lauren Chin was approached by some entrepreneurs who wanted to start up a media company. They said, you will be our operations manager. She's like, fantastic. I want to start a media company. I've been wanting to start a media company to rival the Daily Wire. So she took the funds, she took the money, and she's like, you're in charge of the content and what you produce, and you have to use your connections in order to get this group together. That's what she did. She did not realize that she was working with, she knew that these people were Russian. I think they're Russian and French, right? Like they're dual citizens, kind of like she is. She's a Canadian and American citizen. So if you don't view the Russians as like this evil empire, it's like, okay, well, you can be a Russian and a French citizen and not be a bad person.
Yeah.
So, again, she's not even indicted on anything. It's the two Russians that are indicted. She is on the list of victims or people who were victimized by this, according to the DOJ.
Yep. but they're gonna make that leap.
But yeah,
that they were
YouTube and
involved.
Google have made the leap, and they go, her channel's deleted. She's a Russian agent. It's like,
I don't think her channel's deleted. It's just Tenet Media was deleted.
either
off
way,
YouTube.
either way, this whole situation is absolutely ridiculous. And they go, oh, she disappeared off the internet. Now she's obviously guilty. It's like, no. Whenever you're involved in a court case, you're not supposed to go to the internet and start talking about it. You're supposed to.
The smart thing to do is to get off the internet. If you're smart, loyal to, don't talk to anybody, don't say anything, just be quiet.
Yep.
That's what they'll tell you to do.
And let us do our job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make yourself look worse by trying to defend yourself. Be like, oh, I didn't do this. I didn't know. I didn't. Don't do that. Don't make yourself look more guilty by saying you're not guilty.
Yeah.
It's common practice. I mean, there have been multiple cases with YouTubers who have gone out and said, you're involved in a lawsuit, and the smart YouTuber disappears. And the dumb YouTuber goes, we're going to get so much money from this. And then then the judge goes, wow.
That happened with Sargon of Akkad.
Yeah, it did. It happened to Sargon of Akkad. Like a YouTube girl came out and was like, we're going to get so much money off of this guy, and we're going to win this case. And then he ended up winning the defamation case against him by her, and then countersued her and got all of his money back.
Yep.
So that's why you don't go to the internet and brag about going to court. You don't go to the internet and try to make yourself look innocent. You'd be like, hey, you could maybe do one video where you just go, hey, I'll be back when this thing blows over. It's like, I can't talk about it legally. But again, it's like the people who are on the left and bad faith actors are going to go, their silence is the proof of their guilt. It's like, no, this is a court case, and they're involved in something that they are in way over their heads and didn't know what the heck was going on. They just said, hey, we want to start a media company. Our values aligned. And all of a sudden you realized a little bit later, it's like, oh, we're involved in something that we did not understand. I mean, Lauren Chin is like my age, maybe a little younger. Like, if somebody approached you and said, here's money to start up a media company, and you already have a couple of businesses and you're already a successful business owner and a news aggregate YouTuber, you already know what you're doing, and we give you the funds to do it. We trust you. It's like, why wouldn't you take that deal?
Yeah. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
You're turning down free money at that point.
So, yeah, I mean, what happened to the old, take the opportunity? If an opportunity presents itself, take it. It's like, should you do a little bit more digging? Could they have had been a little bit more diligent? But what is she going to do? She's an independent YouTuber. Like, is she going to do I guess she could have hired a detective investigator and done a thorough background check on these guys, but if somebody comes up and approaches, I mean, it's like the Daily Wire. Like, I mean, the Daily Wire, but the way they did it was they went to oil companies and big places and were like, hey, would you like to sponsor a news outlet? And that's how they got their funds. Lauren doesn't have those kind of connections like Ben Shapiro, and they have.
Yeah.
So when she gets approached and they said, you want to start a media company, why wouldn't you say yes?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want me to do? Do a thorough background check on everybody? It's like, I don't have that kind of.
We're talking a recently new mother and wife, asking them to straight up go into, especially relatively young, early 30s or late 20s, early 30s, to go do all this type of research into places. That's a lot. That you're asking a lot.
Yeah. So again, don't trust what you're hearing, especially out in the mainstream media and all these left-wing partisan hacks on YouTube going, oh, they're corrupt. They got $100,000 per video. It's like, yeah, that's what they average. So it's not that crazy. And they didn't get to make any of the ad revenue off of those videos that they sent and gave to Tenet Media when they produced.
Mm-hmm. So
again, take this all with a grain of salt. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't believe the partisan hackery that's being said about these people. Like the Philip DeFranco. Like, I mean, the guy is a hack.
Yeah.
So don't believe everything you hear. Let's wait and figure out what they find out and what the investigators find out during the court case in the DOJ. And remember, the people who are allegedly caught up in this are actually not the criminals. They are victims of this, not the other way around. They were not Russian assets, Russian agents. They were not working and with ill will towards America. None of their opinions changed. I've been following these people for years. All these people who are caught up in this, I've been following Dave Rubin forever. I've been following Tim Pool, literally since he was doing his on-the-ground stuff with Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah.
That's how long I've been following Tim Pool.
Then he finally got our subscription after the Joe Rogan.
The Joe Rogan thing. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
What's his name? Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey. So, and then who else? I've been following Matt Christians for years. I mean, Matt Christensen's he's a good dude. We actually met Matt Christensen. He's a good dude. Mm-hmm. So these people that are caught up in this do not believe the nonsense that is being said about them. They are not hacks. They are not Russian assets. These people's opinions have not changed. Their political evolutions happened slowly and gradually over time, and they did not just all of a sudden become Russian agents over the day. Because I can tell you, because I've been following these people for years, I know. So it's not like these Russian agents just fell out of the sky. It's not like they were sleep. It's not like the Donald Trump stuff where they go, he's been an agent for Russia since the 80s. You know, it's like, like, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous.
That's the kicker that they don't that the left wing doesn't realize is all right wing people are all secret agents of Russia.
Yeah, and again, it's like you might actually have some opinions that you would agree with Russia about this. It's like it takes away all. What is it? Personal responsibility. It's like they couldn't have come to these conclusions on their own. Someone had to tell them their opinions. It's like, wow, how pathetic are you that you have to think that? It's like, could we think the same? Like, could I say the same thing about you with your trans ideology and your gay ideology and all that? It's like you guys couldn't have come to these conclusions on your own. A demon must have told you about this. It's like, that just sounds crazy. It's like what you're saying sounds crazy. It's like, and again, I'm a firm believer that people can be bought and paid for, but these people were not paid directly by the Russians.
And they have to explain how their views have not changed from before.
Go and watch you have to watch all their videos from 2008 to now and see how they've grown and changed their political opinions over time.
Most of the people that are on here, the only two that I think have had a huge political shift that are in the Tenet media bubble are Dave Rubin and Tim Pool.
And theirs happened a long time ago. So, yeah, sorry about that. We ran really long today, but I just wanted to – we kind of went longer on the Haitian stuff than I thought we would. And the Tenet media, I wanted to give you full context and why that I'm so worked up about this and why I know so much about it. So just want you guys to know so we're all on the same page. So whenever someone walks up to you and drops out, oh, did you hear about the Tenet media and the Russian agents and all these people? It's like they're not Russian agents. So that's about all I've got for you today. Just keeping you informed and letting you know what's going on in the world. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. That's about all I've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody. Mics are down.